Oh man, was that loud to you guys?
Better than
No,
the
that was normal, Chuck.
other choices that we've had recently.
You
It
feel
was?
free to put some,
See, Jim?
No,
See what it
I
feels
was-
like when people bitch about your intros, Jim?
I'm not
I
complaining. I
apologize.
liked it.
I apologize.
liked it.
I wasn't saying I didn't like it. It was
Call me
just
sensitive.
seemed really, really loud to me. I don't know.
I want to tweak that a little bit. I need to put some lead time to hit the go live button so it starts at the beginning, and I neglected
Almost as
that
if there was
part.
like prior art that you could have gone by.
Howdy, Tank Radio.
Yeah,
Tank
but the problem
Radio's here.
Tank Radio. Oh my God.
He's never here.
Oh, Ed, thank you. That is a
One
compliment.
of y'all must owe him money or something.
Ed said I made Tank sound quiet. That's right. Carlos Felix is up
that's
in the
true.
chat.
So, hey, so we're gonna talk about antenna design or designing
Chuck.
tonight. I don't know, something like that. Sorry guys, I'm super not prepared. Ape, what you got going these days?
So like every day, right?
Hey,
I
hey,
know
take the
you
heat
had
off of me
something.
quick.
Listen, man, I'm
Oh.
ashamed. I've been shamed today. So I made a video where I was fooling with a solar panel, and I could have swore that I watched a guy. Listen, the solar panel's got a box on the back of it. I don't
Anybody
know what's
else
in
got-
that box. Okay,
Noise.
Magic.
so when
FM.
what did I do something?
No, keep going.
So I went out and I was messing around with a multimeter, and I thought I saw this guy run an amp test across the two plugs. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense, but I don't know what's in that freaking box. So I did it, and then it didn't work. And then I was like, I'm not going to cut it out of the video because I'm going to be real. And then everybody's like, your meter cred is going out the window. You suck. And that was the nice ones. And so I'm just like, I've been shamed.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
take that.
Try making a crimping video.
Well, I
Yeah.
knew before I watched your video, I saw that it was crimping. I was like, dude, you're gonna get it. They're gonna
You
get
did.
it.
You get
I know.
barbecued.
And you did.
Sometimes I do it just for the fun. It was good.
But
Yeah, there's
that's really all I got going on. I did that video on the inverter that wasn't the best, and the company is
the
actually
video or
contacted-
the converter.
the inverter wasn't the best. The video was the best. Anyhow,
Video.
so the manufacturer reached out to me that day, which I was kind of surprised that they were, so pinned to the Smoke and Ape channel. But they were like, hey, we want to work out something with you. So it was pretty good customer service, I guess, from their standpoint.
Round almost got that one by me there. I thought he
What?
spelled fam. I thought he spelled family wrong.
No, Hamley time. Liberty Cave, back from the hunt. Catch anything?
He's back from the hunt.
You know where he lives? It's probably like elk
disappeared
or
for a
moose
while.
or something.
Well, he said he was bagging meat, and he even got a deer or two.
Excellent. I don't know if that's
You guys,
I don't know if
think
that's a
I'm gonna-
metaphor for something, but
Right, I don't know. what
good
he
on
meant.
you, Liberty.
I'll be right back.
K5YVY in the house, giving us all compliments. Joe, the check is in the mail.
Well, I guess did Chuck get upset about something, or did the pressure get to him? Being that
I
it was-
think the
He
pressure-
had to go prepare for the show.
Yeah.
You said something about bagging meat, and he's like, all right, I'm on it.
And he's back.
he's like bagging meat.
You
Oh
got,
my
I was
God.
getting some kind of audio problems from you guys.
Now I got to fix all this.
That
shit
could have been
you
a
messed up,
stroke.
Chuck.
No, it wasn't a stroke. It was every time To talked there for a while, and then it filtered right into the Apester. So
Like I'm sitting there
Jim,
playing cards with my brother's kids or something.
There it goes.
Nerve-wracking
oh, you got it
sons of
working.
bitches.
That's good. So Jim, I know you got some new videos. I watched a bunch of yours. I watched a bunch of yours this morning. I've been trying to catch up, but what do you got going on?
I did not plan this. It just worked out. I'll be doing a video on a clamp meter to measure current, AC and DC current.
You mean
about
you're stealing
that?
from Ape again?
Yeah,
And
Steele.
yeah.
I did it today, so you were and yesterday.
I need to. Those are kind of
Direct-
cool.
This is a direct attack.
Direct attack. I ordered it like a week ago and it came the other day, and it's like that's my plan for getting a video this week. And it does clamp, and you can also measure with probes too. But
What is the what meter is it?
I don't remember. I think it's
It
Kai
better be
Weets or
Kai
something.
Weeds. It better be
I think
Kai
it's
Weeds.
Kai Weets because that's the fan brand.
What isn't right?
That's the hot brand. But I thought I was gonna have to do a backup video today, and so it was this multimeter, which I paid less than $5 for.
Because that one works. Is that the story on that one?
I don't know. I've never put a battery in it. I got it for less than $5.
Less.
Well,
than
it looks pretty
$5.
nice for less than $5.
Because this is the typical $5 multimeter.
Right.
Um,
That's the Harbor Freight one, ain't it?
yeah, this is, you can get it at Harbor Freight, and you can get it, like, I think you can get these on AliExpress or Alibaba or something like that for like
Yeah.
$1.99. And then this is from AliExpress.
It's a sexy looking beast.
Yeah, I don't know how well it is.
Is that a prophylactic around it?
It is. It is.
Ooh,
It's a soft candy shell.
And they have
Yeah,
them in
they-
yellow, red, and green and blue.
Which color
see
meter
it.
are you going? You got to coordinate your t-shirt color with
Yeah.
your meter color.
Well, I got
Or
it
in
to
Jim's
match my
case, your
short.
fishing color.
It's the shirt I wore to work today. Do you know they asked me about these at work because there's this one girl that works. She's not IT, but she sits real close to IT,
Sterling.
and she's like
yeah, look at
the
that.
receptionist backup. And she's always got a comment about my shirts. And she actually said something a couple weeks ago. You never wear green on Mondays, ever. And I said it's because I got a live stream on Monday night. So whatever
'Cause I'm a
shirt I wear,
star.
whatever shirt I wear.
She actually. Is this the iPhone girl?
No, it's her sidekick who is.
Oh.
The puppet.
So she notices you don't wear green. Were you like,
Yeah.
I
So-
don't wear.
That
said
tells
you-
me something, Don. All right, Jim.
Because like on Mondays, on Mondays and Thursdays, I'm not going to have a green shirt on because I'm going to wear the same shirt on the stream
Treating
that
you
I
like
wore
a
to work.
piece of meat. If I was you, I would contact HR about this. I'd be like,
I would too.
Listen, if that
Aren't you
no,
HR?
No.
Some chicanery.
I'm the reason HR has a safety manual.
Chicanery.
I mean,
Yeah, we had a
I don't.
we had a guy that
chicane
used to work
myself.
for the ambulance service, and all the rules they had was because he worked for the ambulance service.
Yeah. Well,
he
when,
broke. He knew he set them up, man. They have a good book now, good safety thing now.
when I was at the when I
Good
worked for the
paramedic,
bus
though.
company for a while, they had Wi-Fi in the day room and it was crap. They
short
had this
buses?
old shitty router. Old crappy router.
So you
Swear
worked
jar.
at the bus company. You work at the Alabama, whatever it is. You worked at the fire department. You worked at the law office.
Everywhere.
Side hustle. Side hustle.
I'm saying,
buddy.
like, you got.
Damn,
I
you've
mean,
almost had as
TO's
many
got-
jobs as Plasma Storm.
No, as you. As
Oh
you.
no, that's just this week.
That's this week. Yeah,
Just
I
this
worked as
week.
many jobs in my entire life as Tio has worked this
in the
week.
last 2 weeks.
I'm a hustler. Gotta pay them bills, man. Who gonna feed all these
Yeah.
kids?
Yeah, in between working for the banks, I was doing IT stuff on the side, and
Thanks, Don.
I had a lawyer client that would break stuff all the time, and he was excellent as a customer.
Hey, do we?
'Cause he
Do we?
broke stuff.
How's the video feed tonight, folks in the chat? We upgraded to 1080p.
Is it worth it? Do we look good?
Nobody, no. When did we do that?
Steve, did you have to
Good
change
afternoon.
anything for that, or did it go automatically? It is set to full. Yeah.
I had to change something on my camera feed side on my personal feed. I don't know if you guys did that or not. I did.
Mine's
I'm
already
feeding-
mine's set to 1080 right now.
Hold on, I'm going
Mine
into my
is-
settings.
mine
Mine's
is
set
too.
full definition 1080p.
Mine was
Okay.
too. I didn't change it myself.
Yeah, I had to change mine.
It didn't help you, Chuck.
Still looks
Sony
just
just
the same
ain't
as
getting it.
ever.
Chuck, you probably want to make yours blurry again.
Yeah.
You want me to make it blurry?
Go back to 480 or something.
Here, I'll do that. So I did that video on those microphones. Those things
That's the
for
idea.
$89 were pretty doggone good. To tell you the truth, I
Did
was
you
actually
forget you?
I was actually impressed. How's that better?
Yeah. I don't know. Were you talking? What were you saying?
It didn't change. I don't know.
Was he supposed to say something about you? Because I think he skipped you.
He did skip me. That's all right.
Yeah.
I thought we talked to you. Let's talk to T.O. T.O., what do you got going on, man?
Said everything, man. I got this new radio that I'm playing with. You guys have seen it on the live stream that we did, but I got it, unboxed it, and got it on the air. But now, as one might expect, Zygu has firmware updates.
No.
I kind of went
yeah, they
crazy.
do.
I kind of went crazy with it, and I put the Chinese version, the bleeding edge, the 1.02 beta 03. At least I think the B stands for beta. We're all beta testers for Zygu. And it doesn't radio anymore when you put the beta 03 firmware on. So I had to downgrade to beta 02. Like, it'll
Ooh,
transmit, but it won't receive. This is hilarious. This is great. I love Zygu. The funny thing is, it's a quality piece of hardware. The G90 is a quality piece of hardware. Josh said it, the AK-47 of radios. And, it does the thing. It's 20 watts. It's like just the sweet spot. You have the right amount of power. You have a built-in tuner. You have a waterfall, a color screen. It's a great little thing. This does radio really well when you have the right firmware on it. But then when you don't, it's like I don't get it.
I don't know about that thing.
Jeff, I don't know.
Jeff, I don't know that you want to see that. You may need to,
One of my other cameras, if I stream with it, it focuses on my stubble, and it looks like I've got like ants crawling on my face. I don't have ants crawling on my face. I don't know why it hyper focuses on my beard stubble. But being tall, dark, and handsome, it's one of the things you have to deal with in life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this radio is fun. I like Zygu radios. They're fun to play with. If it weren't for the YouTube channel, I don't know what I would do with.
Here's
with
what I
Zygu
don't get
radios.
about you, Tio.
Not buy all those things.
You're like, I don't spend too much time cutting and adding and measuring and checking my antenna because I want to get out there and make contacts. I don't spend too much time overwinding my Toroid
This
to make it
thing
look
makes
pretty because I want to get out
contacts.
there and make contacts. But now you're like, oh, I just love uninstalling and reinstalling the firmware and then putting the firmware on again and then taking.
Analytical.
That doesn't make a bit of damn sense.
It
Well, he
doesn't.
likes working on Commodores too. So I mean, what the heck? The ape ramp.
I think you meant to say rant.
I think he meant
meant
rant,
rant.
but we don't want to be
Yes.
pedantic.
And nothing pairs better with the $60 crap top than the Zygu G106.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The radio. I've got a video coming out tomorrow where I give some opinions on it. It does radio. It does.
So
the
we
thing.
could call it the Turdio.
Well,
to go with the crap top.
Yeah.
yesterday you posted like low wattage on that versus your
damn.
7300, right? And it actually sounded better than your 7300. Well, it was louder than your 7300, I should say.
This doesn't have a power setting on it until
Oh.
you get into a newer version of the firmware than what I had on it. And
Thank you, John.
Welcome to GMRS.
yeah,
Got to
exactly.
uncheck that.
VK5
I-
jack.
I got it. Just cool your.
Like I'm playing cards with my brother's.
What do you
kids.
got?
So this radio, it doesn't have a power setting. It made contacts at 5 watts, and I turned the 7300 down to 5%, whatever that magically really means. And you can't hear the 7300 at 5%, but you could hear this. And then I turned the 7300 back up to full power, and you could hear the 7300. So just a comparison, but kind of an unfair comparison. I don't know which one's on the losing side of that, but I wanted to put it out there in the video. The video will be out tomorrow. These are my thoughts.
Yeah,
I like it.
It was.
I guess I
It
just
was-
don't know if I like the
wasn't
price
bad.
tag.
It didn't sound bad. It didn't sound
No.
bad.
And now the newer version of the firmware has mic gain settings, so you can change the mic gain, and it's supposed to have improved speech quality. So I'm going to have to test out how it actually sounds and transmit again, which is fine. I'll put a video out for you guys.
I think that the mic gain settings are probably just fake. It just tells you that it's doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I mean,
some
okay.
other radio where people were.
Are you
swearing.
able to listen to yourself on that radio? Like through
Yeah, I put it
headphones,
onto
like
the.
most radios?
It's got a
Monitor.
headphone that you plug into the underside of the microphone because it's got that TYT mic or whatever it is.
What do they call that? Monitor.
Yeah. So, but what I do is I actually listen to it from WebSDR over the air.
What is your ultimate plan with that radio? Are you going to put that in a go bag or something?
No, I don't know. I'm going to do some videos with it, and then we'll see
I figured
where it ends
that,
up.
but-
I did a teardown on it already, and it's really well built inside. I think the hardware guy knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
It's the
It's the-
outsourced software.
It's
Oh,
the
you're-
programmers. Just saying. It's the damn
Ape's
programmers.
about ready to throw up there. He's like, stop, stop, stop. Don't say
Listen,
that.
I love the G90. I think I kind of regret getting rid of mine, but the rest of the lineup I'm not so impressed with.
Yeah. Well, the 5105 turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I like the 51.
It was
but that-
solid. Yeah.
but that's discontinued though, right?
Oh,
I
is it?
think they're
don't
still
know.
selling it.
Dave, I do.
kinda-
I always give myself
I don't
a
know if it's
5.9. I'm like
discontinued
Oprah.
from Zygu, but it's still on
Everybody
Radio
gets a
Oddity.
5.9.
It's kind of like the it's the 6100 basically. It's the same
Andy, what?
radio other than the screen, right? Kind of.
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about antennas. Thanks, Andy Cowan.
Okay. Oh, did he say something? Antenna. We should have Andy on. Andy
We
should
should.
join
He's
us
got
and
an
talk
open
about
invite
antennas.
anytime he wants
He
to come.
does.
Andy's awesome.
So
Don said it's still being sold, which I know, but it's like
We've moved on, Don.
we're talking
We're
about
on
antennas
antennas
now.
well,
Don't
he's
get
on the
Jim
lag.
sidetracked.
He's lagging. He's 10 seconds behind, right, or something like that.
It's like I'm
So-
sitting here playing cards with my brother's kids or something. You nerve-wracking sons of bitches.
That's my favorite part. Is the
I know it's great.
The end,
Raphael,
yeah.
hey buddy.
Squirrels. He says squirrels. We've been good about squirrels. So we're going to talk a little bit about antenna design. So antenna design really, nothing's been. You guys know of any antennas that have been like brought out
Revolutionary,
that are
modern,
revolutionary or anything
brand
like
new
that?
inventions.
The Apollo,
even our
coffee and
antenna-
ham radios.
Even our well, besides those, even our antenna is a older antenna. It's just we brought it into a different, has a different style winder, and the way it's set up is all the material. So that's the biggest differences in things now. But yeah, he doesn't do Tinker, man. Oh, Thinker.
Dennis is here.
Thinker.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
reading that wrong.
the last new antenna, wasn't that the G5RV?
It could have been.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you see a lot of people take a idea or a concept around an antenna and then modify it or add something to it. So like, I think of the Step IR and how it can up there. It's got the motors and it can get bigger and smaller and like and change frequencies and stuff like that. They weren't doing
That's
that 100 years ago, right?
No, but that's actually a pretty good. That's good. That's kind of a newer radio or antenna. I think somebody else in Europe does kind of the same thing, but yeah, it's
It's
that's
a
kind
beam,
of-
right? It's just a beam antenna, but they
well, it's a folded
modernized
dipole, is what it is.
it.
Yeah, kind of a folded dipole antenna, and the advantage to that is you get your full size, even though it's not spread out like a regular dipole or a regular Yagi, you know. So it's smaller. It's kind of like one of my favorite antennas, which is a folded dipole. I won't say
Are
it.
you not gonna say it?
Jim, say it.
What's Chuck's favorite word?
The Moxon.
See?
The
Jim's not even
Moxon.
paying attention.
He's
Jim
got
and I
another
over here
word
have
he
seen-
says. He says a lot, just not in front of the camera.
Well, okay, whatever.
But yeah, I think you make a good point. But that's why I like to go back and read like antenna books from.
Well, you
back,
buy
like
old
30s and
ones,
stuff.
all
Yeah.
the ARRL ones, right?
Yeah, I actually think I think the oldest one I have is 1941, the ARRL handbook. It's funny because they use like different language and stuff like that, and like in some of those older handbooks, they'll tell you, "Oh, here's how you build an RF tap. Here's how you build an SWR meter," as opposed to the new book is like, go down to your gigaparts and get yourself an a. It is much different.
Liberty Cave. I was there before you said Moxon. Just to let you know.
in before Moxon.
Don saying the half square is hot. On YouTube
Raven
right
is
now.
in the house tonight.
But it's not a new invention.
Hadn't
Hey,
seen her in
Raven.
a while.
Yeah, the half square has been popularized by YouTubers a little bit, I guess. I did a video on it. They're pretty cool antennas, to tell you the truth.
Well, we are
I-
influencers. I mean,
yes,
people follow our
but
trends.
that is an old design, and it just old designs end up becoming popular again. I mean, I'd say right now, what's the most popular besides Miller Lite? What is the most popular beer at like someplace that makes beer?
a man place or a
An IPA,
hipster
an
place?
IPA is the new hipster beer. Yeah.
IPA is like the hot beer right now.
PBR.
Dogfish Head, 60 minutes.
So I like to look at
Depends
the
on where you live, because around here it's Miller Lite and Budweiser.
I guarantee it's only in your
I know
house.
no fancy pants.
No,
Only
down,
beer.
down here, other than like Birmingham and Huntsville, it's Miller Lite and Bud.
All right.
Natty
Let
Light.
me-
Too
you
far
gonna
out
let me
of
get my
78.
you gonna let me
Natty
get to my point. So right now in the antenna world, especially portable antennas, I think the InFed half wave is that beer right now. What do you guys think?
I
NFED
agree.
half wave is extremely popular,
Yeah.
and I like to say it's because of my video 2.5 years ago that I did on. They're easy to get, they're easy to put up, and they're multi-banded, right? And they can not require. You don't need to use a tuner with them, so they check a lot of boxes for somebody who's looking.
They
to,
do. They really do.
to play around.
And
They check a lot of boxes, not only portable, which is where they're popular, but also you can deploy it at home and just roll with it.
So I've had one out back for like 2 years.
Yeah, I knew you had, and I had the Cartena out hooked to the shop for probably 4 months solid. Never even brought it inside.
And
It
the
just
cool thing
stayed
about
out there.
the cool thing about Apes antennas, it started out as a 20 meter NFED half wave, and then it grew to a
And now
30,
it's
then a 40,
and a
then a
40.
60, and now it's an 80. It's pretty. It's
Yeah, I need to
versatile.
go out there and trim it again. It's got that droop in it, but this time I think I'm gonna use the other wire.
See, Sterling agrees with me too. Sterling knows what he's talking about.
What, Bud? He's doing the
it's
frog thing.
So, I lost my train of thought there.
Is Sterling holding
It's
up?
the first thing that goes.
Like, what's he doing talking
I
about beer?
don't think he is. I don't know.
I'm surprised that he's got a YouTube. I mean, like, you have to be 18 to sign up on YouTube, right?
I thought that was like a rule.
Maybe
Sterling,
it's
how
13.
old were you when you started YouTube? Now there's kids
12,
on there like
13.
12 years old.
Yeah, every now and then in my feed, I get a picture of Sterling when he's
young.
young. He's like, how to make your ham radio sound better. It's pretty funny.
The longest
Yeah.
running ham radio YouTuber.
Hollywood's got a plan. Right
That was
there.
Adam actually did a vertical with beer cans.
Yes, he did.
A can.
Okay.
yeah.
He welded them together actually,
He did.
which is, I'll tell you what,
Not
I weld,
easy.
and that would be very tough.
Hope he was
Yeah,
wearing a
well,
respirator.
Yeah, it's
Because
Aluminum
it's
cans
aluminum.
are actually aluminum cans are coated with plastic on the inside,
Oh yeah,
so they're technically plastic bottles with aluminum wrapped around the outside of them. It's kind of stupid.
damn it. Hate it when
Mm-hmm.
it happens. So what's another pop? You know what? A really
a
good
fan
antenna.
dipole.
A fan dipole. That was the first antenna I put up, and I
Gang
built it
science.
myself.
Fan dipoles.
That's right, fan dipoles.
I don't
And
get that.
the only thing that
It's a
I
joke.
don't like about a fan dipole is if you have trees and stuff around, man, they are pain to put up because they get tangled. All those wires get tangled and everything, but they work great. My second antenna was a infed half wave, and I will tell you, I semi agree with Ape on the ground, but I didn't do what he's talking about. I actually grounded mine because when you run 1,000 watts through it was like a 5,000 watt antenna supposedly. I could watch the SWR start growing.
Because he knows, right?
I grounded it and it stopped. It never did that again. So I don't. Maybe it was just lucky or I don't know what. But I got into Finland with that thing through to one of the most famous contesting guys. I don't remember his call sign now anymore, but he had a huge pileup, and I bet you some guys, if they'd known that I got in on infed halfway, would have been a little upset because I'm sure because he must have had hundreds of people calling him. He just happened to hit it right, Sometimes that happens. I guess there was some kind of contest today. I was out testing some antenna stuff, and
Yeah.
a lot of foreign. My antenna was really picking stuff up, but 10 watts wasn't getting out.
How high up did you? So you were messing with a doublet today, right?
Yeah, it was about 22, 25 feet, something like that. About
And were you
25
doing
feet.
inverted V or flat top?
Inverted V? Yeah, I didn't. I just took one pole with me.
Would you take the 31 footer from Spider Beams, the 10 meter?
I think it was the one from Pactena.
I love that Spider Beams 10 meter.
That thing's huge. I hear the bottom section of that one's bigger than I've got the 12 meter one. And I hear it starts out bigger than the 12 meter one. For some
Well, it's
reason.
pretty short
Kinda
when
weird.
it's collapsed, so that's why. But yeah, it is big around. That's for sure.
I think it's the same length as most of the other 30 footers, but it's probably one of the most heavy duty ones.
Don's saying his dipole was easy. His fan dipole was easy to tune, and I know that Mike says he's a fan MRD. I saw a video he did a long time ago where he had a fan dipole. To me, they sound like an incredible pain in the ass to tune.
Is that for Thump?
That's for Thump.
I just wondering. I was reading that.
I'm reading
It's a
comments. This is not my jam. I'm here just to support my brothers.
So
And
Mike
provide
did a
sex.
fan dipole.
He did a long.
Keep
time
on keep
ago.
on trying to provide. Yeah.
I
That's
kind of
right.
remember that. They're excellent
That's a lot
antennas.
But you trim one and then it messes up the other one, right?
It
I mean,
does.
because you got
You
all that
You
stuff.
usually start with the longest one and work your way. Most antennas you kind of start that end, the lower ends.
The 40,
Well, the
40
coolest thing
meters
about the
first,
Nano
yeah.
VNA is that you can afford like 6 of them to test all of the different fans on your fan dipole.
You can put them all up at the time.
Have to have
Hook them all at the
fan,
same time
See,
and then just
Mike's
snip all at
first
once.
HF he made was a fan dipole also. And the reason I made
Thank
it,
you, Don.
the reason I did that was because I wanted multiple bands. I didn't have a tuner other than actually I didn't even have a tuner at the time because I had an old TS 430 that I picked up for $100, and it works. It was great actually. And then I ended up with a TS 440 that's it had everything in it.
Yeah. I say I messed around with a few different antennas at first, but my first like real antenna was a 9-to-1. with 30. It's like 35 and a half feet long with a 17-foot counterpoise.
The Earchie.
No, it was a little bit different. It was actually a Nelson's antenna 901.
Nelson's, yeah. That's a great antenna.
And I ran it horizontally, and it was only like 17, 18 feet high. And the counterpoise went out a second story window just straight down. And it worked well. I wouldn't say it was great or anything like that, but I had a lot of fun with it. And the reason I went with that antenna is like, so I'm kind of greedy. Like I want all the bands. And I don't want to have to get up and fool with stuff. So like
Absolutely.
things like a Wolf River coil are out of the question for me because I'm not going to keep getting up to go and move the cuff around. When
That's exactly what
Like 2 stories away,
the
man.
decision I made
Yeah.
about that, because I was all into that for about 3 minutes until I thought,
Same thing with like link dipoles. I think their link dipoles are awesome. I've got one, Soda Beams
and
band hopper, and it works
Mercury
great.
is the best.
But it's a pain in the ass to take it up, put it down, switch, and all that.
Yeah, I watched Josh. Josh, he did the Soda Beams one, I think, and he was laying his mast down. I actually prefer to I'll grab as high as I can and take that section down. So I can usually take 2 links of sections down and reach them instead of laying it down. Well, mine would actually be easy to lay down because I use the stake anyhow. It works
The
pretty good.
thing that would drive me bonkers is a loop, like a MAGA loop. And that would drive me insane.
Those are you have to every time you move frequency, just about you have to change
Because
those. And
the Q on those things is super tight, right? I mean, it's
is.
incredibly high.
Tighter than your Sunday britches, son. I
That's
mean,
right.
and those are tight.
Even after the macaroni and cheese and a fried chicken dinner.
I have one with the automatic with the remote tuner. It is so slow. I wish I
You
hadn't
got
bought
that
part.
fancy one that's got the belt drive or something on it.
It just
What, you
it's
did a
got-
video
It's got
on
a
it.
motor. I never
did
did
you-
it. No, I never did it. I don't know what you're talking
he
about.
probably forgot he did it.
He probably
I don't
did
know-
because
I don't
I
know
No,
what
watched.
you're talking about.
He
it's
has
sitting
some
up there
antenna.
right now.
Chuck's starting to get the
Eleanor-
dementia.
L&R Precision. I should pull it out and do a video on it, but I took it out. I was like, oh, yeah, this thing is so cool. It's so cool. And then like Ape's saying is this thing is a lot of work. Mm-hmm. But
Ooh,
So you
Cape Cod.
sacrifice a lot when you go with these multi-band antennas and stuff like that with low Q. But
Right.
But
But now, if you're in a balcony situation, if you're in an HOA or an apartment, that may be your only.
I would
option,
just
too.
do DMR.
now is Cape Cod talking just one single band?
Yeah, my boy Cape Cod here is with the tough question.
What do you say? I can't say. If money was
If
no
money
object,
is no object, what's the best full HF antenna?
20-meter Yagi on a beam on a tower.
On
3
a
over
big-
3 over 3?
Big honking
A
tower.
what?
3 over 3 over 3.
No, a quad antenna. A cubicle quad's the best antenna you can get.
Now I watched
just
a video. Kevin's in the chat
Quieter
because
than
I saw
anything.
him earlier. Where's he at? K7SW. He did a video I thought was interesting the other day, and I can't remember what antenna that was on. Chameleon, I
loop.
think.
Yeah, the Chameleon
yeah,
loop.
the LEFS 8010.
Oh no,
That looked really interesting. The way they had it built.
Yeah, Kevin's saying you need an 80-meter full wave loop. Now, Joe Brett has got a full wave loop, but he doesn't know exactly what size it is. He's like, I just done put up my wire till I ran out of wire.
put a 4-to-1 on it and run a tuner.
And he's got like an old clutch.
Phil knows
As-
what I'm talking about.
Break discs. Yeah.
No, but it's awesome because I mean I think that's ingenuity, right? That's using those parts.
So
and
the
stuff like that.
cubicle quad is probably if
Joe Brett,
everything
don't
was
you let
perfect
these
and you
city
didn't have
people
to
make fun of
mess
you,
with it,
man.
Just a nice Yagi.
best antenna
that's
you
ni-
can
it's
get.
simple. Doesn't have a bunch of parts and get wind stuck in it and rain
What
and
is?
ice and all that stuff. Yeah, just
What?
get a Yagi.
Oh,
It doesn't get
they're not
wind
as
stuck
quiet.
in it. What?
You know what I'm saying? Wind drag and all that stuff.
Have another Miller Lite, Abe.
Well,
Think you
I
might have
told
had
you
one
I
too
took off.
many.
I'm not working
He's at
tomorrow.
17 right now.
Not working tomorrow. So I'm
Oh,
enjoying
we'll
myself.
do all bands. Now I don't know which one he's talking about.
The doctor told me, he says, you need to watch your drinking. And I said, what do you want me to stand in front of a mirror? What do you mean? It's not what he meant.
That's not what he
Hey,
meant.
beer's not here, folks. This is the best we can do for dad jokes.
Right. So he's saying the best all bander is the tactical Abri.
That's right.
Tactical. It does what? One band?
And a brie on top of a Wolf River coil. Tactical and portable.
I see Mike just. I thought that he did that Yaesu antenna, the ATAS. I thought that was a borrowed one, but it looks like maybe he bought one. 'Cause
He had
I
a
saw he-
borrowed one, and then he's got a new one. Is what he was saying.
Oh, well, he already had the little, whatever you call it, one.
I think he likes operating from his car. To me, I don't like that. I don't.
Well, you don't have a car.
No, I have a Jeep. You're right.
He did
see?
purchase one. Where did you purchase that, Mike?
At
Did
the
you get new?
store.
Yeah, Mike.
I agree with Chuck. The quad is the best because it's the quietest antenna out there. And when you want to hear stuff that nobody else hears, those guys.
Like
the,
voices
the,
in your head.
the old joke was
Right.
that the
take
quads
drugs
open the
for that.
bands and the quads close the bands every day. But they are a little picky.
Chuck
I
at
mean,
the
but
bar.
he was saying no money, so we could build the best one you ever wanted. Oh, he purchased it used.
Kevin's right.
Kevin is right. Kevin
And
knows
then
what's up.
Kevin, I'm questioning your judgment right now about the chameleon, just because of that.
I
You
made
know,
my
he's got-
$1,100
he must have
repair
a
payment
deal
for
with
my
Chameleon.
Jeep.
Every time I turn around, Kevin's got a new chameleon antenna video going up. He's got to be on the payroll or something.
They don't like me.
Well, good if he is. I mean,
Well,
it
Chuck,
looked
you
like
don't
a
say
cool
nice things
antenna.
about him. That's why they don't like you.
Well, I say how it is.
Today was payday. I'm going to be hitting chameleon up tomorrow.
I've got
He
a
must have got a
chameleon
lot of
antenna.
money, man.
They're them jokers are.
I have a
they're
chameleon
not cheap.
antenna too.
That F loop is a nice looking antenna and it's expensive, but it looks like they made it out of quality parts. So I can
It's
I can
$5
say
bills.
that.
Isn't it
It's
$5 bills?
All 5 of them. Every bit of $5
We're not talking about the same chameleon.
This is $250.
For that thing right there?
That's
Yeah,
their
that
5 to
ding
1.
Just okay. It came some wire too.
That's the size of a Miller Lite.
It is.
It might be a used Miller Lite can.
It's leaking something too. I don't know. It shouldn't be anything in this. I don't think it's got wax in it or anything.
See, I think Sterling's onto something. He says he associates these quads with the Super Bowl CBers, which Chuck was, just for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl winner. No. Well, actually, I did. I have to say he's pretty much right as far as I did learn about them when I was doing CB stuff.
He's not wrong.
Liberty
not
Cave's
wrong.
all on the doublet. So,
We started off. Now I'm never going to shut Chuck up about the doublet.
right.
I tell you what, if you want a wire antenna, I like the doublet because
They're easy to
There we
make.
go.
they're easy to make. You put one antenna up and you've got.
They got to
However
be too
long you
high in
cut
the air,
it.
though, is the problem.
No, they don't. Mine works just fine on every band.
Just
So
fine.
Daniel's
You
got a
said you
80,
put a tune in
80
here.
to 6. 80 to 6.
Daniel says, can I feed 600 ohm ladder line into a G90 by just soldering the other end of the ladder line to the center pin and shield of a short run of coax? Daniel, they make a device for this. It's called a Cobra connector or a BNC adapter. So it's got binding posts on one side and BNC on the other. And you can, and I've got a couple of shorts on my channel about using a G90 to tune a doublet that's fed with 450 ohm ladder line. And it does a pretty good job. But yeah, there's lots of
I'd
ways
put
to do
like a
that.
4-to-1 on there or something like that to
Yeah.
help with the impedance.
1-to-1. 1-to-1. That's the.
I've
that's
got
the
some
way you
data
go.
coming out on
Everybody
that,
says,
1-to-1.
yeah, it's 1-to-1.
But if you do like a and
I don't like it, but I'll agree.
It doesn't sound right,
Holly,
but it's true.
Hollywood is he's onto a couple things here. But I think that if you put a 4-to-1 and you wind it with the two toroids, you get a 4-to-1 and a 1-to-1 in the same box, and you can just put it on there. That's what I would do if I was seriously messing with a doublet. But a lot of
Now
people,
I have a 4-to-1 on mine, but after I bought it, DX Engineering. If you guys ever want to read anything good on doublets, go to DX Engineering. Look up their little multi-band dipole kit. And the bottom, if you go down at the bottom, it has instructions. Go in there and read those. And if you don't believe me, ask Tio because I think I sent it to him. And there's
You did.
a ton of information in there. And they also
He sent it to me
say
3
to
times.
wrap it with this one.
Because he was trying to
Good
send it to
stuff.
me, but he didn't know my email address. He kept sending it to S and then smoking.
Hey,
It would
Matt,
just
look,
show
I'm
up.
not trying to make fun of
Yes.
Chuck, but he sent me a link to a file on his computer. It wasn't an internet file, but it was doing a C drive.
Oh.
Chuck has seen a front porch swing. Just a wing. I said that wrong.
But see, if you take that ladder line and you run it across the ground, right? Like you don't have it elevated and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Doesn't it give you like capacitive coupling to the ground and it can booger it up a little bit?
Yeah, they say you can't. They also say you can't lay it next to a gutter because it messes things up. Mine used to hit
You
my
can't
gutter all
run
the
parallel
time.
to other metal.
Yeah.
It can run you can cross it. You can cross the gutter, and it'll be fine. But you can't parallel the gutter.
And in there's specific links that your ladder line should be, and they tell you how to figure that out.
Yeah, that's
Multiples of
probably
multiples of 3, and for 40, it's 15 feet. Multiples.
Yeah.
Of
So
3.
your ladder line is part of the antenna. It's going to resonate, and it's because of how close the wires are. They're going to be in opposite phase of each other, or something along those lines. So that's why ladder line's better than coax.
Well,
Steve is right. I don't know what I'm right about, but I agree with
I
Liberty.
had to put it up
100%.
there, man.
Anybody that says you're right.
Well, ladder line's better than coax
Except you're
because it's near lossless, right? That's
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's
And
why
that's
everybody
and
gets
that's what
worked up.
people don't understand. That you can't tune an antenna because you lose too much. Well, that's why you can, because you don't lose. Tell you the truth, I've tuned it with coax and it works. So, in fact, I was talking to a guy up in British Columbia. He goes, "You can't do that. It doesn't work." I'm like, "I'm doing it right now, and you just gave me an S9."
And when you say
with 100
doing it, you
watts.
mean you were talking on the radio.
I was talking. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He was
You
doing
got
the horizontal radiator.
Now, Craig made a good point too for a lot of this information, and I love me some DX Engineering. They have documentation pretty much on everything they sell on the website.
I've gone to a manufacturer's website and not been able to find documentation, and going to DX Engineering and found it.
And found it. There it was. That's right. So any specs you're ever trying to figure out or look for, it's on DX Engineering's website. Those
So real
guys do
quick,
a
Joe
great
Brett's
job
got
with
himself
that.
a question here. He says, "I have been wondering how to run laser line into my metal shack," and he means ladder line. Joe Brett, are your walls made of metal?
He's in Mississippi. They're made of paneling.
Wood panel. That's what I thought. I thought it was T111.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's in a portable building, I think.
Yeah. I guess the short answer to that, if it is a metal sided building, I would cut a big hole in it to get a piece of wood there instead, and then I would run 2 bolts through it, and I would attach it like a binding post style to the outside bolt head, and then on the inside bolt head I'd attach more ladder line and keep on running. Or you can
I ran
convert it
mine-
to a ballon and run coax right away.
I ran mine through PVC through the wall.
Yeah.
So because it's coming in with all my other coax too, and I've never had a problem with it. It's not as touchy as people think, from
So
what I found out.
That means that Kevin's not an FT8er. So if he has never set up a radio for FT8, to
He said
me
he-
that sounds like he needs to come on a live stream.
Right?
Yeah,
We need to
yeah.
have him
You
FT8
got to
on
see
the
him
live stream.
suffer. Got to see him suffer.
Well, now, to
live
be
in front
fair,
of-
he said he didn't do it on the F loop, so he may have FT8'd on something else.
but he used some fancy words.
He
says
he
"I
didn't say
need to
F loop.
leave."
He also said floop.
He said floop.
Yeah, the fluke.
I was effing it up a little bit, so
Or he put the F in floop.
he did. He did.
There ain't no F and floop.
You know, so I got my 705 out today, and I had to ask Tio how to set.
Yeah.
You guys make so much fun of Yaesu
No,
on
I
their
love
menus.
Yaesu.
At least they make sense.
Yeah,
I'm
hold
in
down
there.
the
I've
F key,
gone
wait for
through-
the menu to appear, scroll the list with the multi-knob until you reach item 57-18, press the multi-knob in, rotate the VFW until CW appears.
It's like
That's how you
using
change-
Right.
WordPerfect
Then-
in the 90s on a DOS computer.
Then
It's
go and
hideous.
change
I looked everywhere but where I was supposed to look, and I've been in that thing 10 times today, 50 times today.
You know it's a touch screen, right? You
Oh no,
touch-
I got that down.
Take this giant thing and touch it.
But
touch
it's
it.
I don't know. It's just I think it's because I'm used to something different. So just
Some
like
crazy
if you guys,
menus. I got to give Ape and I are on the same page on this all day. Yesu's menus.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I tell you, I keep telling you guys, the 991 and the 705 are very similar. The Yaesu does have a really extensive menu system that I never go into, other than when I set my radio up.
Just like a
After that-
Baofeng with the damn menu.
Oh, come on!
It's
And it
worse
is-
than a Baofeng with the
My
menu.
my FT70D's got like 150 menu options in it.
My Baofeng just tells me what I'm
Does
doing.
everything though.
The Yaesu, I
And-
got to figure
tells
out
you.
the secret key sequence.
And now we're talking about this the Yaesu
Hey,
FT70.
back
We're
to
getting
antennas. Back to
but
antennas. Back to antennas.
When I'm on 14652,
No.
it automatically gives me the repeater offset for that frequency.
What does?
Oh, that's broken.
My FT70 out of the box. If I do factory
mine-
reset, it does it.
Mine doesn't do that.
Well, I don't know what
You
to
must
tell
have
you.
got a bad one.
Nope.
Bad FT70.
Nope.
So, What is your favorite antennas? Put it in the chat. What do you guys like? What do you think is the best or favorite antenna? If you guys have a favorite, throw it in the chat there. You guys know I love antennas, and I'll tell you what, the one I built on the BNC thing is because I watched Adams when he was building that super tiny one, and I'm watching people in the chat, that thing's too small. I can't build that. I'd never be able to do that. So I'm like, oh, well, how can I make something that's kind of like that but easier? And that was the only reason I built that one. So design is just trying to make it a better design sometimes than what you've seen in the past, right? I mean, that's nothing's new out there. Other than, I'll tell you what was new was that rake antenna I made. Now that thing rocked.
My
I
AR
got to
antenna.
ask on that.
The Lawn
the rake
Boy.
antenna.
The Lawn Boy 2000.
Yes.
I like things that are simple, and I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of just plain straight up dipoles. A lot of people are like, "Hey, dipole," and I'm like, if you want a nice antenna that performs reasonably well, it's super cheap and easy to build. Get you a dipole, son. Put one together.
That's right. A dipole will actually probably outperform an infed by a little.
Well, I think it probably would as well. But
It's
you don't
supposed to.
have the loss that you have in the impedance transformer, right?
Somebody likes the DX Commander there, Randall.
Randall's not the only one. Jim likes the DX Commander.
It's a good antenna.
Oh, I like it.
I think it's a really good antenna for your home. I don't
Already
like
put your
making mine
fans up?
portable.
Oh, copy
like-
that. I would not fool with that thing portable.
I did. I have.
That'd be a
but-
multi-day excursion.
I've
Well,
gotta
Chuck,
be
when
there
you
more
did it,
than
you put
one
it up
day.
backwards.
Well, I did that too. That was a day trip.
wasn't
man.
gonna mention
I was in
that,
a
but-
hurry. Hey, I still activated.
What did you do now?
Oh, I hooked one of the radios up to the wrong point. It was my buddy. I was with a buddy. He's into ham radio, but only for 2 meter for vehicle to vehicle stuff. And we were supposed to go out on the Rubicon, which we didn't do anyhow because his Jeep broke. So
And you grounded out one of your aerials.
well, I hooked it to one of my. It was hooked to one of my one of my actual antennas. Yeah, wires. So that one was a little bit off.
Drop a
But it
one in the
worked.
chat
Still
if you
worked.
love a DX Commander.
Yeah,
I don't even
That's
have a
that's
DX
good
Commander,
antenna.
and I love
You
I
it.
thought
don't.
you did. I thought you
No.
did.
Now,
Joey
Hex
won't
Beam,
let him.
Dennis has got the Hex Beam up there. Hex Beam's a good antenna. If you don't want to spend a ton of money, and they're not cheap if you buy one, but if you don't want to spend a ton of money and you want to get 5 or 6 bands, that's a good way to go.
Which way?
Especially if you live in California.
Which way?
Now, if you the Hex Beams. Now, if you live someplace where you get ice storms and stuff like that, you might want to.
Yeah, that's if you want a directional. To me, I think the easiest, cheapest is a 9-to-1. Right? If you want a nice multi-band antenna, the
Yeah,
9
there's
to
no
1's
gain there,
probably
though.
the
No
best
gain.
way to do it. It's about a 72-foot element.
I mean, so far the
Stainless
chat
steel
is
wire.
telling me the DX Commander rules.
Well, you didn't ask him any other question. You just
I
gave him
know you asked him.
the one choice.
That's like any political survey.
antenna? How many like my antenna?
It's not my antenna. I'm not getting any, whatever. And I think
really?
for a great antenna that is reasonably priced, the Cartenna
It is.
Apollo is a great deal, honestly,
The best.
because
Best deal.
these guys, whichever way I need to point to get this
It
all
is
a
designed
pretty-
it,
it is a
spent a
pretty
lot of
good
time
antenna.
on it. It's a decent
If
antenna.
you
There's
guys
nothing
want
wrong
one of
with
those, I think we got
4
6
hams
left.
by hams.
We
Well,
sold.
we
for
just didn't we just
30 this
re-up.
last week.
We re-upped. We got more
Re-upped?
than
So
Oh,
it should only
Yeah,
be
we will
about,
have more.
It should only be about 26 weeks before we have all the inventory delivered
Right.
to us.
Thank
those
you.
guys are
China.
rowing hard. It's going to take a minute to get there from China.
And as soon as Chuck can build them again,
We have
kids.
6
I
or
don't
7
build 'em.
Mercuries left on the site. The link
I think
dipole.
it's about the
I think
same
it's
on both.
7 maybe. And then we have 6 or 7 Apollos on the site, but we got parts coming for more. And we'll put them on the site as soon as Chuck gets them built. So
HKMP
Yeah,
5S.
Here's the-
Chuck actually gave me a my antennas 49-to-1, and I used that thing for like a year. It was really nice.
That's what I put up was the my antenna. Actually, that one that you were talking about, I think my antenna actually helped with the Chameleon antenna because I noticed that they used one of the parts that I'm pretty sure my antennas came up with first. That little coil, that goes on there. on
Hey,
their
Carlos, look at Carlos flexing with his 2 DX Commanders.
antenna. Ooh,
I thought he had
Oh,
one and a
Nebula.
half. He's got one and a
yeah.
half.
Well, he's
right?
got one in some parts. I think he got.
Like
I
three
think he
and a half.
replaced it because he had a Nebula too.
Well, I got to tell you, so he had the Nebula antenna
Right now,
pulp mask collapsed next to him, and it's like 2 feet taller than he is. Just to collapse. I don't.
He is
He's got to
short.
get a stepping stool to get that to get the thing out.
Mike, we have cartoonists right now.
Right now, Mike.
Why is he yelling at us? Quit yelling, Mike.
I don't know.
He's just got the
Might.
fever. He's got the fever.
Mike's at OM and his caps
Yeah,
lock.
Mike's
key was, oh wait,
Mike's
no,
a
that's
high
Chuck,
energy.
Sorry.
Mike's a high energy guy.
High energy.
I've been with that guy before. I've camped out with that guy. You know, hey, just for one thing, if you go to the site and they're not there, check back in a day or so because I'm constantly upgrading
All
them,
eyes on
up,
Mike.
putting more in.
Yeah, ping Chuck at Chuck in our Discord directly. Don't bother the rest of us. Bother
Hey,
Charles.
Todd.
You're the one that sets up the orders, not me.
But
just
I
send
can't.
them
I
out.
don't put it. I'm not. This is not. I'm not Bernie Madoff unless I know you've got
Oh.
the antennas. I'm not putting them on the website.
Yeah,
Well, you know-
Jim is
you
of
know I've got
impeccable
him.
character.
I'm
He's
a
a character,
character.
all right.
That's right.
So
Like
let's
I'm
see.
sitting here playing cards with my brother's kids
If-
or something. You nerve
Let's
Let's do
those
this.
sons of bitches.
If an infed half wave is your favorite antenna, put a 2 in the chat. I mean,
I'm trying not to
Drop a
hate
deuce in the
antenna,
chat if you like NFED half waves.
a
but
deuce.
it's what I use the most. I'm a big fan of them.
I do like it. I'm getting to where I like them more and more for portable stuff because they are so easy to put up.
That's-
I
and
ran
yes.
I ran the big. Or what's our octopus one? I forget what they call them.
The Kraken.
Medusa, you
Kraken.
dummy. The Medusa.
The
It was
Medusa.
it was the Kraken.
Kraken was the
Kraken.
240.
Yeah, it has a 240, and I use that at.
The Kraken is the big one,
It's
and
huge.
it's still going to be an NFED half wave. Potentially, we were talking about testing it out as a 9-to-1. The fan dipole is the Medusa.
I have nothing for scale there. Ape. I have no idea.
His-
Hold
yeah,
up a
give
Miller
him-
light can or something.
Because we know you
big.
got one.
Or two.
I got
or three.
into the Cayman Islands or something when I was down at Grand Canyon with it on my.
And just for
I was
reference, that's
actually-
a 40 apes holding up. So
holiday.
Oh boy, son.
That's a
40.
deuce.
It's a 40.
And when the price of printing comes down, we'll probably put some of those out because
They've got him a 40 and a pack of New Pope.
Boy, I tell you
I
that
think-
the printer guy's got us over a barrel.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, look, when he raised the price, he raised the price. What was it?
Oh, you should have
Double.
seen the hissy fit I threw. Karen's were just falling over.
All right, they were taking notes. They saw, and then he was like, "This is ridiculous. This price." And the guy's like, "I know."
He
He
handled
it
basically
well.
said- He was like, "I know."
He took it like a pro. He's like, I know our prices suck. What are you gonna do? I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna buy them. I ain't got no choice.
Right.
and we ate most of that. So, whoa.
I'm just
But that
I'm just
was
sharing the
Thursday.
news of the people, Charles.
Like
I
you
don't want to
should, man.
NFR. What is that?
What did you
And,
say?
and
What'd you
random
do?
wire.
Oh,
Random wire.
Well,
And
if you got
901.
if you, yeah, I don't think they're as good.
I have a
Thank you,
through the
Mike.
glass antenna for my 2-meter rig in my truck.
Oh, me too.
Okay?
If we had known that, you wouldn't be on the show. I'm just telling you. It's a good thing that you hid that in the interview
The
process.
background check did not find that out. Mike, thank you very much for that. Honestly, dude,
Man,
when
if
you
Mike
put them
puts
on
it
your
out,
show,
that
we
means I
blasted
got to
them.
start. I got to start
We
building
sold
kits
out.
if Mike put it out there because you know
Chop,
what that
chip
does.
chop, son.
I know. My feet are still wet from going out to the park today,
Well, you just,
Them
they have
the
an
order page, I
invention.
think we're
It's
sold
called
out.
a
and
towel.
it wasn't raining.
It's called a towel. And you can
towel.
dry
Carlos,
them off.
does your Larson whistle or is it just mine?
Oh, mine whistles. Mine's not a Larson, but down the freeway.
And mine does too. My comment.
Makes it easy to
It's
tune.
does it have the coil in the middle?
Yeah.
My comment does.
They say if you put heat shrink around that, it'll stop that. I haven't tried it.
bull crap.
It'll be
Because
like this the whole time.
the thing is that it whistles because it's like like in like Zorro movies, he gets the sword out and he's like, "Whew," you know what I mean? It's doing that when you're driving down the road. The coil has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, my
it does.
through my
I
I have
through
no
the
idea
glass,
what you just said.
my
but I'm
through
gonna
the
nod
glass
in agreement.
antenna whistles too.
What's that?
My through the glass antenna whistles too.
You don't throw that in the trash.
I just throw that in the trash.
Works for me, son.
So when I went to Huntsville, I had a mag mount with the wire going through the weather seal, and that's how the inside of the back seat got all soaked.
Uh-oh.
I put the through the glass up, and I haven't had any water through the back window ever since.
Imagine. I would love to put a mag mount on that truck, but
He
the
hadn't gotten
entire
any
truck
signal.
frame
He
is
hadn't gotten any
aluminum.
signal through that window either.
Yeah, I have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
told
heard
you
Carlos.
guys.
I was sitting in the truck listening to Carlos Felix.
I was
Jim
Jim
talking
was the
to
one that
guy-
was broadcasting APRS on the wrong frequency the whole time he was there.
That might have happened. once.
You did that, James?
No, nobody can
Some
prove
guy-
anything.
Listen,
Steve,
when those
Steve was drinking when he said that.
those FTM 400s when they were going popular and everybody was getting them.
I did it.
You would hear that all the time on the repeaters here is somebody transmitting APRS.
Yeah.
Phil says his Harley whistles at 80 miles an hour. Mine does too. It goes away at 110.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever been that fast, but
Kilometers.
I cannot
kilometers.
drill the hole.
kilometers, yeah.
P more. No, I just no. Mm-mm.
I wouldn't do it either.
That's why I'm using it through the glass for as little as I use 2 meter 440. I
Craig's
mean,
got a
mostly I got it on.
Montana.
I got a hotspot.
Yeah.
It's on digital, so
I put a drip loop on the roof of my car, Don. It went through the top of the window.
No, you know what he's talking about. You're supposed to, when you do something like that, you're
Yeah.
supposed to put like a circle so it drips down, not inside your car.
Yeah, that's just funny though. Just making a joke, Chuck.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of building a
you
6
didn't
meter
get that
Moxon.
either, did you?
I got a video on that one.
We have 7
Actually-
Mercuries and 7 Apollos in stock on the site right now.
I actually like the 6
Come on,
meter
Mike. Come on,
Moxon,
Mike.
or hex beam better.
Mike, tweet harder.
I got holes in my cars.
I can't
So-
do it. I'm just
I'm
no.
in Wisconsin. Holes in cars are a natural occurrence here.
Oh, did you guys see Tom the dilettante? The bottom side of his Lexus. Oh,
Yeah,
What
that
was
was
up with
mild.
that?
That was
I don't
wild.
know, man. That looked pretty bad if you ask me.
it
I was
definitely
like,
is not a
he drives
California
around
car.
in that rusty ass thing.
Look, I had spark plugs that have rusted seized solid in my engine block because of Wisconsin salt.
Yeah, you guys have salt on the roads.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike,
We
you
have
are,
salt-
you're
we
all
have
right.
salt
I
on the
don't
roads
care
for
what
6
anybody
solid
said about
months.
you, brother.
That he's on it.
Somebody
I wish I knew how to do that
Somebody
kind of
mentioned
stuff.
mag mounts, and I think that's what Jeff means with a TLM.
I think he means trunk lip mount. Am I getting that right, Jeff?
Well, I have a hard cover on the bed, and the entire truck body is made of freaking aluminum. So there's like nothing magnetic on that entire truck.
You got a
body.
Ford
TLM is
F-150,
a
huh?
clamp, and you
Ford
put
F-150?
some Allen keys down. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, 150.
150.
150. You know, did you ever see the mount I built for my antenna, for my screwdriver antenna in my Dodge?
Ralph,
Not
you
that
are
I
correct.
remember.
80, 90 miles an hour down the freeway. And this thing is like this big around. It's like this tall and about that big.
And I had to compromise when I put that on. I was going to put it on the back window, but I got a rear window defroster, and they say don't do that.
Oh, don't do that.
I guess it'll jack up the SWR more. So I put it on the rear driver's side window.
I meant don't put it. I was talking more. Don't do what you did. Period.
I know you were, but don't judge me.
I tell you.
Stop
I
judging
went,
me, Chuck.
I went down to Arizona with
Backfired,
Javi.
Jim.
Javi is like 200, 300 feet in front of me, maybe a quarter mile. Okay, I'm talking to a guy in a big rig, 50 miles away, and Javi can't hear either one of us. And guess what he had? I'm just saying.
Maybe he didn't have it set up correctly.
He had a ham stick?
Probably.
No, he has for his Jeep. He had a ham stick, but for a 2 meter, it actually works pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
2
Sorry.
meter ham stick.
Coffeeandhamradios.com
20 meters.
or what Ape said.
96
Yeah.
Dodge Ram, 12 valve. Ooh, there you go. Oh, he's got the
Oh,
stick
Cummins.
shift too. Cape Cod with the stick shift. That's a 5-speed or a 6-speed, I forget.
Ron, I don't believe I'm going to screw steel plate on my roof, but I believe I might screw steel plate on the bed cover, possibly.
Do the one on the
You can get that corner one, right? That goes in the back
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yeah.
those are pretty
MFJ's
good.
got like 5 million different versions of that.
Yeah.
Or you can
MFJ
do
has
the
a
one that
product
goes
for
right under
everything
your
you didn't
hood.
know you needed.
Hey, speaking of MFJ, Martin Jew was on Larry's Ham Radio Live today.
Yeah, he was. I
Was that
missed
today?
Yeah.
I missed. I thought
Yeah,
I
I
missed it
gotta watch
already.
it
I didn't know
too,
that was
replay.
today.
That guy Martin, I love watching him. He's awesome.
I wonder if he had his drink with him. It was early in the afternoon, right? So
What's so funny because he's got like such a redneck accent, but you wouldn't think that he does.
exactly.
We started talking MFJ and Jim's gone.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm triggered. That's a microaggression.
We probably hurt his feelings on that mirror, on that window mount.
Well, he should be ashamed of
Oh,
that.
now he's knocking on the door. He wants to come back. Nope, you can't come back. Nope, get out of here.
Jim, you should be ashamed of that window mount. I'm just saying.
I'm not.
They have the one that goes under
I'm white
the
trash
under,
it
the,
up. I'm white
under
under
trashing
your
it up,
hood
man.
and out, over the fender. Why
I
don't you
don't
pull
want
those
anything
off?
in the front of the truck. I don't. No,
Oh,
it's fine.
I've got one of the ones that goes.
And
in
someday
the,
I want to trade
the
that
bed.
truck in, and I don't want the car salesman looking at holes all over it, going,
I think it actually uses holes that are already there.
"Yeah."
you just
I
fold
could
the
probably
antenna.
figure out something in the bed cover. I have a folding aluminum bed cover.
How old?
Oh, that messes things up.
It's a 19.
So I mean, you're gonna have that thing for another 10 years. So
I plan to give this to my kid when she's old enough to drive, and she's 11.
She's not
so
gonna want that
That death trap.
That's
cheap Cheetos
that's
smelling Ford
Yeah.
150.
Why do you think I'm giving it to her? I ain't buying her
Gas and
a
gas
nice
in it all
car.
the time.
When is Jim easy to get along with? I don't
No,
get that.
she's getting that because it'll be as anti-boy possible, and it'll protect her better.
Are you kidding me? A truck in the South? Anti-boy? What?
Right down the
Well-
Did you guys ever listen to country rap?
No.
I call it happy country.
Country rap?
it's-
You mean crap?
Yeah, I mean the
So-
acronym says everything right there.
Those guys, it's like, they get stuck in the mud. They just pull the tailgate down and have
There
a
you
party
go,
right
Ron.
there.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even know the country rap was a thing.
It
I
sounds
ain't
like
fretting,
regular
Carlos.
country.
It just tweaks Chuck like ham
it's-
sticks tweak ape.
It's happy country. I mean, your wife's not dying. You're just having a man.
I don't know about that.
C rap.
One of us is now
country rap.
required to say the country music joke about playing it backwards. It's not going to be me.
What is the country music about playing it backwards?
You never heard this? You play
Oh
it
my
backwards.
gosh.
Your wife comes back. Your dog comes back. Your truck works.
And you get to keep the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Something
I
like
didn't know
that.
Wow.
I won't touch that one. My wife might be watching.
You don't want her back?
I didn't say that.
Did we cover enough about
She hasn't
antennas?
left. Yeah. What else we got about antennas? This is Thursday night, right? So
We're talking.
Why
We're
don't
talking
you-
about antennas.
We're
We're
right
talking
there.
about the G5RV, the world famous, the
Oh,
infamous.
if you have a
G5
G5 RV, put a 5 in the chat.
I
There
do
you
not
go.
have
For-
one of those.
Now,
Put a 4 if you're
Five.
embarrassed that
So-
you ever had a G5.
so I made good contacts on a G5 RV. I got another one. It was so good. They
Yeah, please
they
put
came out
five
with
up.
an upgrade to it. A gentleman from South Africa, I think,
The
ZS6
ZB.
BKW.
Yeah.
Kevin, thanks
And,
for coming by. See you, buddy.
He apparently
Thanks,
fixed
Kevin.
all the problems with it. So the G5 RV, I'm going to do a video on this as soon as the weather breaks because it's already frozen north up here. But
So like,
Lewis
8
made
months
it
from now?
Lewis made it as a 20-meter doublet for his small garden that he had. And it's not a dipole. It's not a
doublet,
multi-band
really.
magic antenna. The ladder line that's on that antenna is a matching unit to get the impedance from the purposefully mislength wires down to 50 ohms that your radio would like. So it worked on his favorite band in his yard very well. And then everybody bastardized it after that. Can I say that word?
You
Sure.
said it. Bastard.
Well, you're talking about that ZB, whatever it is.
ZS6 BKW. It fixes the problems with the antenna that didn't have problems.
Well, it has some problems matching on certain bands, but like the thing is that antenna has to be like 58 feet in the air because of the ladder line, the length of the ladder line. And also the doublet ends that come out, I think they also drip down a little bit on the ends. You're supposed to have them hang down a little bit. I'd love to have that antenna, but I don't have the space or the height to put one up. But they look like they're great antennas.
Which one is this?
Which one are you talking about? The fixed G5RV?
Oh, the ZS6 BW fixed ZS6 BKW fixed the G5RV, and now Don's telling me that there's a fix to the ZS6 BKW, so it's like 3 times as good.
There you go.
Rolly's here. Hey, Rolly.
Rolly.
Rolly,
Good
what's
day.
up, buddy?
I bet you Rolly's had a couple of those.
Rolly's in the future. So it's like tomorrow
Yeah.
He is.
lunchtime or something right now.
Rolly comes
I'm
from the
looking
land
it
of
up.
good DX.
Everything's
He comes-
DX there,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, every
it is.
contact.
Oh, they sell it at amateur radio sales supplies. The optimized.
So now Kevin, who has
It's actually cheap compared to a lot
left the
of other ones out
scene,
there.
Mentioned
Ooh,
this earlier.
Craig.
Yeah, Craig. Thank you, buddy.
Woot woot.
Who's got that? You got that, Theo?
I got it.
Jimmy knows how to do
Jesus
it.
Christ.
On loop first, then tequila. Or Windows error method.
Here we go.
Either one's good. I like this one too.
There we go. Thank you, Craig.
He needs some milk.
I was going to say, Craig needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
All right.
Craig,
Join
thank you,
code.
man.
Link to Toads in the description down below. The friendliest place on the internet this side of QRZ.
It's actually pinned to the top of the chat.
Right.
It is
did
pinned to the
that.
top
of the chat.
He is a
job.
It says the
professional.
smoking ape joined it.
I don't think it's in the description.
Let me throw out this antenna. Kevin mentioned this
The
earlier.
description doesn't have anything in it, probably.
Oh, Chuck.
What?
What are your thoughts on this guy? Kevin said something about this earlier. So this got a coil
know-
built in it.
How did you do that,
They just
Chuck?
came out with a new one. The new one does actually.
That's the
they came out with a
AX1.
new one that has a coil, right?
Yeah, the AX2.
And then he's got a new one. I saw it at the show. He showed it to me. I don't think he's not really putting it out there, but it does 3 or 4 bands. The new one he's got. He's got a little switch on it. You know, he says he does really good. I was speaking of Wayne from Elecraft.
Wayne, yeah.
Because he uses it all the time, but he does a lot of CW. But he says he actually does pretty good with the sideband on it too. So I think sometimes when you get up, he does a lot of hiking and stuff. The guy's
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He's
That
like a
thing comes
mountain. He's like a
awful
mountain dick.
awful small for that.
Well, it's an
tell you what,
extendable whip.
I've got the MFJ version of that on 420, and I got him up into British Columbia with it with my Elecraft, no problem. So they work. I think when band conditions are really good, he's got that one there, the AX2. There's an AX3 out now, but it's not out. I tried
It's not
to
out
get it.
because I'm on their site.
No, I tried to get him to let me have one, and he wouldn't do it.
So what's the
got a
difference with
swappable
the
Toroid.
3?
The
And Chuck,
3
you were
has-
trying to be all smooth. Like, come on, son, hook me up.
Come on, I won't say anything until you're ready to release it. I still,
Right,
I think he only had one. Tell you
It was
the truth.
3D
You were
printed
like-
too. He made it himself.
you were like, I won't share the vendor spec sheet.
That's right.
Chuck, you got a 3D printer. Make your own. Beat him to the punch.
He's
Yeah.
already got it. He's already built. I saw it. He's already
Yeah, but
tested
you
it.
said it's not for sale.
Look at that. Oh, it's a charger. So
And you guys,
refurbished battery.
if anybody has a KX2, just so you know, and Wayne told us here it was coming, but it's out now. They have so you can charge the big problem with the KX2. Oh, I can't charge the battery. I have to take it out to
well,
charge.
they're mod problems.
Well, now, no. It does everything. I tell you what, it does what it's supposed to put out. My 705 doesn't.
Oh, I'm just
close.
telling you that
It's close.
Tom says
close.
that Tango Oscar Mike, he says that he likes his 599 better.
Well, it's still working. It's probably.
I'm not one to say he's
No.
I don't
wrong.
know.
No, he got rid of his 599.
I thought he
No,
got rid
he
of it.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
he
couldn't
didn't.
get it fixed. Couldn't get it repaired.
Oh, that's right. He did. I do remember him busting it. What did he do to break it?
I don't know.
Regular
Yeah.
everyday use.
Hey, Don, you know what? I got my 705 out the other day. It had been sitting for a while, not a whole long time, and the battery was dead. First time ever.
What size DX Commander are you going to do that with? Because I'm trying to imagine all that top heavy weight
17 aluminum boat.
tipping that
There ain't no
boat.
top heavy and a. No, not a DX Commander.
No,
It's the same weight all the way up and down.
I got a 17-foot aluminum boat. It'll hold a DX Commander with no
Will it?
problem. Oh yeah.
Like what is that? Like a John boat or something like that? Is that what you call
Yeah.
it?
Maybe like a bass boat,
Mine's-
small bass
mine's-
boat. My
no,
my
like-
no,
boat's
he's in Australia. It's a stave boat.
I hope it's alligator proof or croc proof.
It's a what
Mine's a
kind of boat?
Crocs.
Stave boat.
He said aluminium.
Aluminium.
That's not a boat. This is a boat.
I tried to.
Right.
I was looking at ham radio DX Hayden's video the other day on this. Of course, it was a Moxon they were building. They did a nice job on that thing because they actually made it out of aluminum. And I tried to spell aluminium for him.
Hey, he does. Hayden's got a good channel over there. He's I was just talking to him. He just crested 23,000 subs. So
He didn't build it. He just filmed it, man. The other guy built it.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was having fun though. I mean, it was.
Yeah,
And
he
pretty-
was.
He hangs. He
I'm
hangs around
surprised
a
he
pretty
didn't break out
hardcore
some beers. You
group
know?
of
Seems
hams
like a
down
pretty cool bunch of old dudes he's hanging out with. Yeah.
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I think we're
The
gonna
old
have to
dudes
do
around
that.
here
We're gonna
don't
have
want to
to
do
get-
nothing.
Jim, what's the weather like in Alabama in like say January, February timeframe?
Shitty.
Overnight lows in the high 30s, low 40s, uppers in the 60s.
Wow, that's your overnight low is my overday high.
What
Yes,
are we?
it
Are we
is.
talking about a field trip down to
I'm
Jim's
thinking we
house?
should go. I think we should get a DX Commander and go
Bama?
down there and build it together.
in
as a bonding
Penlala.
experience.
Is it? Did they
A team
have?
building
Did they have a
exercise.
Best Western down there? Or Super 8? Like where
Son, we got about 8 hotels up to the interstate.
Hotels.
Yeah, but that's like
Hotels.
it's not like Bedbug City. I don't
No.
want to end up. I don't wanna end
No,
up
we got a
with,
Holiday Inn Express. We got
Stress.
a Best Western, a Motel 6 for you. You know,
We'll leave the
Classy.
light on for you.
classy.
we'll leave
place.
the light on. It's like
Well, the Motel
$69.95.
6 is right next to the liquor store that sells the Miller Lite, right?
No.
It might be actually be in the lobby.
Do they deliver?
The gas station right next to the Motel 6 sells Miller Lite.
There you go. There you go.
K Toads meet up at the Waffle House. Andy's on it.
See,
Yeah, how
I mean,
far? How
because
far is the Waffle House? From
right
the place?
there in Hotel Alley.
Oh my gosh.
Exit 164 off of I-65.
Give me some flapjacks and a ham.
Is there a
steak.
Walmart there too?
At the Waffle
There
House?
is up in Montgomery. Yeah, about 5 of them, I think. I lose count.
Wow, I must be behind here.
Man, I could use some of them flapjacks
I
and
love-
a ham steak.
Oh, the heck with that. Bacon, eggs, and a triple order of hash browns with my eggs over the hash browns. That's magic.
All this talk making me want to run up
On
to
the
the Waffle
on the
House.
flat top. On the flat top.
We can
On
play
the-
some
on the
C-Rab
griddle.
and drink some natty lights. I like it.
I used to have a flat top. I can't grow one anymore.
He's talking about the grill, son.
The grill,
no.
not cast
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
iron.
Not your head.
Chuck with the high and tight.
I ain't
Of course he did. He was
Now
the
it's
fire
all back
chief.
and
You know what the
sides.
fire chief is
Dusty,
supposed
I'm
to have a
making
flat
me
top?
hungry. I'm gonna have to go find me a
The
snack.
reason I don't
after
have
this.
any. The reason I don't have any hair is because I was the fire chief for 8 months or something like that.
We can, yeah, y'all could camp out in the pasture right
Southern
next door.
Slam.
I mean, don't mind the cow poop and cows, but
it's
there's
just
plenty of
You
room
got
out there.
pasture next door.
About 60, 80 acres. I don't remember.
I thought the pasture was the guy at the
No
church.
Walmart, but $3 Generals.
There's a Dollar General. There's a little country store, the fire department, the library, and the Baptist church, and a Methodist
Library.
church.
Library.
Tim's
I'm
Stat.
translating. Trying to translate.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Who?
Tim Stat. State.
Chuck.
He's been in here all
He's
night.
been
Where
in
you
here,
been?
Chuck. Keep up, son.
I
Tim's in here every show.
Actually, 8 might know this one too. What kind of filters does the FT81X come with by default? None filters?
What?
The what?
It doesn't have any
817,
physical-
818.
Oh,
It has filters.
it has filters, but you can add filters to it.
Yeah, you can add roofing filters
If you
and
can
stuff
find
like
them.
that. Yeah.
You can add them, but it doesn't come with it. I'm still thinking about this thing.
It does have filters, but you can add better filters.
Yeah, I think
The big thing
actually
for the-
makes knockoff filters now. They're not the ones.
they?
That, I think I'm pretty sure.
It-
Like people will buy like CW or a single sideband filter, so you
Right.
can get a nice tight narrow
Camp on Jim's lawn.
signal there.
We don't call
Professional
it a
East
lawn
Pent
down.
Lala is going
We
to
don't.
be a
We don't
little
call it a lawn down here in East Pent Lala.
It's
We
the
call
garden.
it yard. No, it's the yard.
yard.
Oh, the yard. It's a yard sales.
A lawn is for the people on the fancy side of East Montgomery. The real fancy.
See, I thought
people.
a lawn.
I thought you were in the fancy side.
The
I'm on
lawn
the
is
east
what
side of
is
Pent
in your
Lala.
yard. Like you could have different stuff in your yard. Like you could have a garden. You could have a pool. You could have
Occupy.
a lawn.
Don't have a pool. Got
But
a
the
yard.
lawn, but the yard is the ground around your house.
Yes, I call it the yard. That's
He's
that's
got a
from,
fog lawn.
That's from Kankakee.
Fashionable
call it the
Perry
yard.
Manor.
Perry, man.
I
Stately
I
Perry
call it
Manor.
the compound. The compound.
He's got some circa 1963 paneling in that.
And we do
room.
have some 2A restrictions in my compound.
Meaning you have to have one?
You need to be packing. Come heavy or don't come at all. I'm just saying.
Don's
how you
still
do.
talking about his moccasin, I think.
Jim's Yard
Good
Festival.
antenna.
That's right. It will be the new Woodstock, Dennis.
JYF.
Dennis, Dennis blew me off at Pacificon.
I don't blame him.
I
don't blame him.
totally don't blame him. He's young and vital, and
Come on,
What,
man.
what do you
Didn't
know
he
about
want to? He
Dennis?
actually, he's one of these people who go to the seminars and pays attention. Isn't that what he said he was doing?
I waited at the seminar, and I guess he knew I was waiting there because he never showed up. If he was in there, maybe he's a little short, so he might have been sitting in one of the chairs. I couldn't see him. I don't know.
1911, boy.
Exactly right, Dave.
But no, I'm more of a Tupperware guy.
Yeah. It depends on what I'm schlepping that day.
I did not leave after 3 minutes. Hey, that's totally wrong. I was there way after you were supposed to be at that intent. Or
Chuck
no, he was
left at
going
3.
to
He had to
was
get to there
going
early.
to the
first.
wind link. On the wind link.
Well, so what he
I
saw
watched
was he
half of
saw
that.
the smoking ape and thought that wasn't Chuck.
It could have been.
Ran.
No,
I had to run out to my car, man.
no limit.
Oh, I saw. Dave was all out there by himself. Dave was actually. He went to that class you were supposed to go to.
What was that? The APRS.
He was
class
there
you
with
went
this.
to?
No, it was a WinLink or something.
Link.
Dennis, Chuck probably forgot. I mean, 3 minutes is a minute. It's a long time.
I waited. If the only thing is, he may have got there before me because I didn't really walk down the aisles looking for him.
So there we go. Now he
Yeah,
did.
the truth is coming out.
The guy started the
Mega
class
Man.
early. Actually, it was early. The compound sounds.
What
like
does that mean in
definite
the Mega
Omega
Man vibe?
That was the movie with Charlton Heston in the 70s, End of the World. It was redone with Will Smith, I Am Legend. It's based on a
That
book.
was the same thing.
Same story, yeah. There's
Jim knows his
I
movies.
couldn't get into that one.
He knows the science fiction nerd stuff. that's
You
for
know who
sure.
knows movie
Yes,
stuff?
he does.
Is Mike. Mike knows like every saying from every movie there is.
I'm pretty good at it. My nephew's even better.
Yeah, you three ought to get together and see who could stump who.
It sounds like a barn burner.
Beat me to it. All right. Oh my lord, it's
Well-
8:15.
It's is Dave on tonight?
Turn into a pumpkin.
I'm sure he is.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun tonight.
I did.
Talking about antennae. That's one of my favorite subjects, and Jim's least favorite subject. But if you want to talk about scopes, Jim's your guy.
It's not my least favorite subject. I love antennas. They're fabulous. I just don't get into building them.
Well,
I'm interested in the science of it. I'll SWR an antenna with the best he is. I will.
Oh, you won't with your jive rig expert. You probably didn't
There
we
do
go
it
again.
all.
I will do it with my VSWR on my Regal Spectrum Analyzer. So you
Regal?
shut your cake hole.
He's like regal. Is
Mr.
that how they
Ape.
say it down
Mr.
in
Ape.
Penlila?
all right. So we're gonna have to head out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Had a pretty good crowd. The thumbs are a little bit low there, you guys. If you forgot to hit the old thumbs up, hit that
Yeah, you
on
got
your
to
way out.
thumbs up.
Smack it like it owes you money. Son.
And hey, if you need antenna, you guys know where they're at. And if, like I said, if there aren't antennas on our site today, check back in a day or so.
There are right now.
Because
Did you get my note? I sent you, Jim?
I do have the parts. So
No.
we're gonna hit the old button. Jim's gonna hit the button and
Jim's good.
Oh,
say
Jim's
73
gonna-
all.
I hit it. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, everybody.